Colette, your humble host, as usual, on Greenwich TV. Today, here with me is Felicity Okolo, the author of It Is My Life and I'm in Charge. This is a very sensitive topic that we're talking about today that needs our attention. Hello Felicity, just tell us about yourself.
Thank you very much, Lydia. My name is Felicity Okolo. I think I'll consider myself as a transformational coach and teacher.
So what is all this about, this book, It Is My Life and I'm in Charge? What is this all about?
It Is My Life and I'm in Charge is a book about my experience of domestic violence. I call it that because I believe everybody has to take charge of their life, and beginning from me, like Michael Jackson said, you look at, to make a change, look at the man in the mirror. So I looked at the woman in the mirror, which is me, to make a change. Yes, that's what the book is about. So my story briefly, I got married at age 19 to a man who was 16 years older than me. It was an arranged marriage, and he brought me from Nigeria to London. And within 2 weeks of arriving in London, abuse kind of started. And it began with rules, isolation rules. I wasn't allowed to make friends or go out, to go to college or go to church. All those rules, there were isolation tactics abusers use. And then it began with name calling, and 4.5 years later I had 3 children with this man, and where I suffered all forms of abuse: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, even because I didn't go to church. He wouldn't let me go to church. And financial, and even sexual. So when I felt my life was threatened, I couldn't take it anymore, I had to run away for my own safety. So I left. And when I left, I had to go back to take my children. And so it became, it was very difficult, because then my children, when I left, they were 3.5 years old, 2 years old, and 5 months old.
So you left, when you left the children in his care?
I ran away at night, actually, so I couldn't have taken them because they were sleeping. It was about 3 a.m. in the morning, they were all sleeping when I ran out of the house, and slept in my car that night. It was winter, November, cold. And the next day I went to my neighbors who helped me get help. So 2 days later I went back with the police to get my children.
Was he ever abusive to the children as well, or just to yourself?
I will say, if children witness abuse, that's abuse on them as well. They were emotionally and mentally traumatized, because till this day, Lydia, till this day, they still remember, the first 2 children remember the incident, the witness and incident, the last incident. And it was so traumatic that they find it hard to forget and to forgive him. Back to them, they kind of forgive him, but it's still quite a traumatic experience for them.
But did you see it coming? Did you see it coming, or it just started all of a sudden?
I will say, did I see it coming? Yes, probably. But being in a marriage, I don't think any woman goes into a marriage to get up and leave later. You're forced to abandon a relationship. Most women, we do whatever we can to make sure the relationship works. And in situations where you're forced to leave the relationship, then you just have to. In my case, I had to leave the relationship because I felt if I don't, then my children will suffer. The abuse might actually move on to my children, which I didn't want my children to be raised in a violent home, because I was raised in a loving home. I want my children to be raised in a loving home as well. That home, I believe, will not give them that.
Okay. I know, is that the only book that you have, or do you have any other books that you've written?
I've got another book called Who Stole My Power and the Easy Way to Reclaim It. This is purely positive development books. It's teaching you strategies to help you live a better life, to achieve your dreams. And I've got a 3rd book which is not quite released yet. It is called It Is My Life and I'm in Charge: Students' Guide to Dating and, well, Students' Guide to Relationship and Dating Violence. So it's all about educating young people about having a healthy relationship and how to spot abusive relationship or unhealthy ones and what to do when they find themselves in there. All instilled in it, because when I teach about abuse against women especially, people have come up to me to ask, what about young people? So I decided to write a book along that line to help young people as well not get involved in abusive relationship.
Yeah,
those who are already there for how to cope with that or how to leave the relationship.
Yeah, because I think it's important with the young ones because they're more vulnerable to abuse and manipulation and control without even them knowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of girls, especially young girls, think that when a boy they're dating is very possessive, that's a sign of love. Oh no.
That's not.
That's one of the signs, possessiveness, telling you what to wear, where to go out with your friends, what not to wear, want you to spend a lot of time with you, and isolating you from your friends. Those are signs that relationship is unhealthy, because once they succeed in isolating you from your friends, then they have the opportunity to begin to abuse you.
Yes.
And by then you have no friends to turn to tell what's happening. And so you feel isolated, and now you begin to endure abuse that is so unnecessary.
Because right now you're just relying on him.
Yes, he's all you have.
Yes, okay. So what encouraged you to talk about abuse? Because I know this is a topic that a lot of women, or even men, because it can happen the other way,
Yes.
they don't like talking about it. So what encouraged you to get to that point of talking about you being abused?
Well, I kind of fell into this work I'm doing at the moment because I believe if you don't want me to say anything that you've done, please do no wrong, because I'm going to say it. So when I left my ex-husband, people see me with my young children, ask me, how are you? I'm very well, thank you. I respond, how are your children? Very well, thank you. Then they ask, what about the father? My response would be, there's no father. They ask why. I said, because I'm separated or divorced. What happened? Because he abused me. So I was very upfront about what happened. I didn't think it was necessary to hide it. So I spoke about the abuse openly. So I was free, because I believe if you hide the abuse, you are indirectly giving the abuser the encouragement to keep abusing you or to abuse other people, because you protected him. So I believe by speaking out or telling people about the abuse, if at all they have shame, they will feel the shame. And also it's not a good thing to hide. You have to speak about it. So I was free to speak. I felt free to speak about the abuse, and to me it was easy to speak about because it wasn't something nice to do.
And I think that your second book, Who Stole My Power, I think that's when you come out, actually you're taking the power back. So like you said, when you don't talk about it, it's like you're giving them the power and they're holding it.
Yes.
So I think that book, I should have one of that. So what's the advice that you can give the women or men out there that are being abused? What is the advice that you can give them?
Is to seek help. There is help available. There are lots of charities, there are lots of organizations. There's a police there, you have the social workers, you have the counselors. During my time, which was long ago, probably just one or two organizations dealing with domestic violence, and I didn't even know there's anything called domestic violence. Actually, I learned about it from a show Oprah was hosting then about domestic violence. I didn't even know it had a name. So I'll say to people, do not keep this to yourself, because it's not something nice. You have to speak up, tell people what you're going through, seek help. If you're one of those from some cultural backgrounds that think that your culture will support something not right, I don't think a lot of cultures approve of human ill treatment. If they do, that culture should be reviewed, or the tradition should be reviewed or scrapped. So I would say speak up, get help, there's help available.
Okay.
And you can contact me as well. If you feel you couldn't speak to anybody else, I'm available to be contacted.
Okay. So what are you doing about all this now?
Right now, I'm starting an online show called It Is My Life Show. And what the show is about is on relationship with particular focus on domestic violence. The whole idea is to educate people on how to create a healthy relationship, how to spot unhealthy ones, and how to spot abusive relationship. It's educating them on preventing strategies, preventing abuse, coping with abuse if you're in a situation, and how you can leave abusive relationship or survive afterwards, and also become successful after abusive relationship, because you can. Look at me, I am. So, and that's what the show is about. I'm currently actually interviewing guests such as pastors or religious leaders, other leaders in the community, because these are people that people come to when they have issues, so they should know about abuse and how to help support their community members when they come to them. I'm interviewing the police, social workers, charities involved in domestic violence, victims of abuse, male, female, young people, anybody or any organization has to do with abuse. Even people in the community. It's just for people to be aware, creating awareness and educating people. That's what the show is about. So, and I'm looking for more guests in this area. People, lawyers, people who work with domestic violence, charity organizations, the police.
So are you doing it as a talk show, or is it just you going to individuals and interviewing them, or is it a talk show? How does it work?
I'm interviewing.
Okay.
The section of the show where I interview my guests, and a segment where I give recommendation, because viewers send questions that I answer and give them recommendation of what to do in the situation.
Okay. I know you say that if somebody wants to talk, they can get in touch with you if they wanted to. So how can we get in touch with you?
With the show, you can email me or email the show via using email address info@itismylifeshow.com. And you can see us and visit our website, itismylifeshow.com as well. And on Facebook, It Is My Life Show on Facebook, and you can contact me directly, Felicity Okolo. I'm on Facebook, and my website, felicitykolo.com. But most of the show, It Is My Life, same here, itismylifeshow.com. info@itismylifeshow.com.
Okay.
It's my email address.
Are you getting any support? Are you getting any financial support, sponsors, funding to run this?
At the moment, we have a few sponsors and partners, and we're looking for more sponsors and partners as well at the moment. And guests, like I said, my guests, my audience, most important to me at the moment, and people that we reach to transform lives, because this is a topic very close to my heart. And the whole idea of doing this, I would not want to keep hearing people being killed, people being abused, because it's not nice. Being that I've experienced it myself, no one else should be abused.
And people actually die in this?
Yes. In the UK, statistics has it that 2 women a week are killed due to domestic violence. And the bit people are not even aware is that 10 women in the UK commit suicide to escape domestic violence, and that's huge. Statistics has it that in the UK, 2 women a week are killed due to domestic violence, and most people don't know as well that 10 women in the UK commit suicide to escape domestic violence. In countries such as Nigeria and Africa, I think about 3 women are killed every week due to domestic violence, yes. Although not quite official, but there's inclination into that's what happens. Although certain African countries do not have laws that protect people, but Nigeria is coming up. Nigeria doing their best to make that happen, which is good. Totally applaud countries who are working on putting laws in place to prevent abuse and to support people who've been through abuse. Not just women, men as well, and children.
Yeah. And I know you give a little advice to the people who are being abused to come and talk. Don't hide it, speak to someone, go to charities, we have police, social workers. And what advice would you give to the people that are abusing these people, the abusers?
Oh, abusers. You need help as well. Get help. You getting upset or you are provoked is no excuse to abuse someone, because there are 1,001 ways to handle your feelings or your emotions. You can leave the room, you can stay quiet, you can put your hands in your pocket. If you want to say nasty things, you can actually put water in your mouth and stay quiet. You can just leave that space. You gotta get help if you have anger issues. Hating someone or beating up someone because you think you have a right when you're provoked or you're upset is not an excuse for abuse, because all you're doing is exerting power. You're trying to control this person, because abuse, Lydia, is all about power and control. And because you feel you're stronger than this person, you can beat them up or hurt them, does not give you the right to do so.
And it has nothing to do with love.
Yes, I was going to say just that. If you love this person, what does fighting or beating somebody up got to do with love? We have misunderstandings with our partners. Not everybody go beating the other person up simply because you can. It's not right. Even things you say with your mouth, the name calling, they do hurt as well.
Yes.
How you put somebody down, they hurt. These things do not equal love. So abusers, please get help. Rethink what love means. I'd like you to, if you want definition for love and what a healthy relationship is and you don't know how, ask me. I'm going to help you. Let me know. Like, there are organizations out there apart from me who are teaching about relationship, good healthy relationship, and about love you can approach. It's not too late to say you are sorry that you're doing things wrongly. Especially in homes, we were raised a certain way by our parents, and most people grow up thinking that the way they were raised is the right way. No, because our parents did not learn about relationship in school, just like we did not learn about relationship in school. You have to grow up and see what to take from your parents' upbringing of you to emulate or to apply in your own life, and what not to take. So if you think that your parents behaved X way and that's the right way to behave, you may be so wrong.
So would you say this is a journey of your life?
I think so, because I fell into this work. I think I was chosen to do this, and I believe since this book was written, actually even before it was published, lives were being transformed from the story. And from what I was told, this book, which is about a copy of the book, touches 10 lives in countries such as the UK here and Nigeria. So I totally believe I was asked to do this, and I'm glad to take on the challenge to help educate and help people transform lives and prevent abuse as well. It does help, because I also have a program called It Is My Life and I'm in Charge recovery program that helps women who have been through abuse how to speed up recovery, because it took me 13 years to recover on my own. And any woman who attends my course recovers, I think, in less than a year if you really apply what I teach.
Okay, thank you very much, Felicity. And what I got from this today: if you are an abuser, seek help. If you're being abused, speak out. Those 2 words are crucial. So thank you very much, everybody, and thank you very much, Felicity.
Thank you.